As always, please retry this question before watching the video. Only thing you need to know to be able to answer this is the WTD for literals. If you don't know the answer, add it to your cheat sheet, master it, and go back 5 before continuing in the video. What is the WTD for literals? It is be as literal as possible. And you recognize that it's a literal because it's an understanding question. Understanding questions being questions that actually require you to understand what's going on in the passage to be able to answer them, or about the context of the passage more than just grammar. And you can also recognize, because it's usually asking you a more sophisticated question, but the question isn't one of the other understanding categories like deleting, adding, revising, placement, etc. Ones that are very obvious to recognize. If you haven't started to master those other categories, you will over time. They're super simple. And literals is pretty much the understanding grouping if it's not one of those. But these are also one of the easiest categories. So if we're just as literal as possible, we just need to figure out what it's actually asking us and then go from there. Which choice most clearly suggests that Fong had a primary role in the startup and development of the law firm referred to in the sentence? Answer A, was a part of. So that in no way indicates that he founded this law firm or helped found this law firm. So we can just eliminate that because it's not answering the question being stated. Assisted in the business of. We do not take from that he played a role in the startup and development. Helped found and run. Yes, that is exactly, perfectly, exactly, literally what it's asking us for. Became employed at. If he became employed at, we know nothing more that he was involved with the startup and development. Therefore, only answer C is a possible answer. If this made sense, add it to your worksheet, writing out what you learned on the explanation side, and then go to the next literals question that you miss on this test before doing any other categories. If this is the last literals question that you miss on this test, highly recommend you go ahead and do the mastery for literals, getting 10 questions correct in a row on this category. This should be a category you never miss. So please do that mastery if this is your last literals question.